planetary hour of Mars. Mars is in Virgo. Scorpio. Let's take a look at the 12th degree. Let's see what comes up. An embassy ball. Diplomatic struggling. It says, rather ironically, the display of power is an aspect of keeping the peace. There is a greater disinclination to attack a strong neighbor. Keeping open difficult relationships with skills of diplomacy. In contrast to our willingness for self-sacrifice, we are also have an inclination to form hierarchy. Right, this has created a firm social structure that supports privilege, leadership, and obedience. Notwithstanding the inherited high risk of corruption, it provides a platform for diplomacy where the ruling elites are able to struggle for supremacy amongst themselves and against foreign powers without restoring to physical violence. It is necessary because until the chips are down, allegiances are not improved, and this is a requirement to experience group consciousness. So this one speaks about being on display. Loyalties enable us to experience some sort of devotion. All right, so let's just see the devotion. I'm gonna pull from Tea Leaf. I've got the Answer Oracle out here, mostly everything. I think we've been having focus on the Oracle of the Radiant Sun for the past couple days, so we're gonna hold off end. Let's see what comes out in the tarot. The moon is coming out directly. All right, so the moon in transit for today. Let's just see where it is. Again, it's Friday. It's Venus's day. So in transit with the moon, we have the biquintile over to Saturn and Neptune in Aries. We have the squares over to Mercury in retrograde in Leo, as well as Sun in Leo. A semi-square to the Mars in Virgo energy. I see the trine over to Jupiter in Cancer and a sesqui quadrant over to Saturn and Neptune in Aries. All right, we also have Venus at a square over to Saturn and Neptune today, now that Venus is in the sign of Cancer. All right, so Saturn, Neptune, Mercury are all in retrograde. There's going to be a review in connection to the moon in Scorpio here. Let's see what's going on. Welcome in, Krista. It looks like clarity of consciousness. All right, moving forward slowly. I can definitely see where there's physical struggle or mental struggle and the energy of strength coming up in the near future with this energy for Leo. All right. So the squares are going to create that tension, and I definitely see that with the 8 of Swords and the 10 of Wands. All right. If you have some sort of fulfillment here and connection to the workplace, that'll be good. All right, let's see. It's coming out as Empress energy here as well. So Taurus, Cancer's out here. Let's see. Let's do some sort of achievement as well as traveling. All right. And then I also see the 6 of Pentacles. There's an equal give and take in today's energy as well. All right, how to keep things and remain in control of certain situations. Let's get a little bit deeper into what this is speaking about. I'm going to clarify the moon. What is the moon speaking about here? Yeah, it's requiring some sort of courage. All right. And I see that here with the Strength card coming up in the near future. So having bravery and dealing with difficult situations, whether that's mentally and or physically, and where it could make you feel either delayed or put some sort of strain on you here. All right, we're going to take a look at the workplace with the 8 of Pentacles. All right, surrender and accepting here with yielding. All right, so if there's a specific skill that you have to master or put in a lot of hard work today because of the squares and or the semi-squares, it's calling for you to surrender and accept. I'm seeing ring, comply, and timing here. All right, I got a heavy Saturn energy overall to come into some sort of commitment and something requiring following the rules, all right, or seeing some sort of synchronicities about a specific deadline. So that's connected to the work environment. Being seen as a leader, that will be seen as Saturn. You will be seen as someone that has a position of authority. I'm going to clarify the Empress. It's giving the bell with the wake-up call and whatever it is that you desire, going after your fantasies here. All right, but being in this energy of needing to clean something up and organize, it looks like your emotional state overall. But it's tapping base with that Page of Cups. All right, so maybe you need clarity with a certain situation that requires courage right now in connection to that moon that we just clarified. Let's see what the strength card is in the near future. The energy of peace, harmony, and order after some sort of chaos takes place, or whatever that corruption is, the unpredictability. Moving past this energy of whether you're paranoid about something or feel this energy of competitiveness. And then I'm also seeing in connections to gossip and slander, it's like continue to ignore this situation so that you can focus on the road that you're on. So I don't know if it's messing with you mentally with this Eight of Swords energy, and where you feel trapped in the situation and things feel a little bit more heavier and burdened in connection to what you want to continue moving forward with peace and harmony. That's what it looks like. All right, but it looks like in order to surrender and accept whatever it is that you're connected in with work, it's like it requires a lot of emotional courage. All right, and if it's a wake-up call and to head in the direction of whatever it is that you desire, I definitely see you being a little bit more cleaned up and or this energy of organized in your energy around you so that you can remain in control of focusing in on your passion and whatever it is, again, that you desire. Coming out with the star here. All right, I see Pisces with the Hangman. So there could be a period in the day where you feel like you need to take a step back and rest. All right, so that when you're choosing to move forward, it comes through a lot more easier than it would with you having heightened emotion with the moon being in Scorpio at this time. All right, let's get into the tea leaf. Let's see what's going on here. It looks like things are finally like gonna settle down. Today was the first quarter moon in Scorpio. It happened at 8:41 a.m. So you could have seen a lot of assertiveness there or heightened emotions at that time, whatever that may have been. All right. Definitely with the moon in Scorpio is heightened secrets. All right. Period of prosperity and or abundance. You could have received some sort of inheritance today. The fair man is coming out here, and family sorrow. All right. Why is this fair man coming out with family sorrow? Something about putting in hard work. But there's this energy of stubbornness around. Shows some sort of aggressive person. Family sorrow in connection to that fair man, putting in hard work and being stubborn. All right. Climbing towards success overall here. The wish being granted, and I'm also seeing involvement with the law. So there's something going on possibly in the background where it says someone could be working against you behind your back. I don't know. All right, let's see what's going on here. What is this hard work up ahead in connection to this family sorrow? What is the hard work ahead? You're going to be parting ways with someone here, either in romance or in business. That's interesting, because after you do that, you receive some sort of gift. It's like broken ring, and then it seemed like you're a diamond. So I don't know if you're going through some sort of divorce, all right, or if you're releasing something in business. Someone's really stubborn. This person could be very delusional, all right. I don't know what this is, but March is coming out in financial pinch. I'm seeing Pisces in or Aries energy, and then financial pinches. All right, so Pisces and Aries in the second house in finances. That's going to be a sun, moon, rising, Aquarius. All right, and or for Aries in the second house, who's this? That's going to be sun, moon, rising, Pisces. All right, so I could be speaking to an Aquarius and or Pisces in connection to the family sorrow, the, person being delusional, someone being stubborn, having to part ways either in romance or in business, and then receiving some sort of gift afterwards because you're dealing with some sort of financial pinch here. So I see definitely where the energy of reciprocation comes through. I don't know if somebody tries to come through with an apology after keeping something a secret, because it's like it doesn't stop the person that's on this side that's in connection to the period of prosperity and abundance. That person's climbing for success and is getting a wish that's granted because it's involved with the law. All right, so let's see what the hidden secrets are. A financial gain coming through for something that you did in the past. All right, it's part of your celebration here is for you to receive that abundance. And if you're on the road to success here, it's because whoever it was that was kind of like working against you behind your back, you've overcome some sort of enemy that was working against you. Again, it has something to do with like spiritual law or the journey that you're on right now is what it feels like. All right, so what is the wish that comes in that's granted in connection to this involvement with the law? Some sort of good news. All right, and right behind that was the card of wealth. All right, so whatever the financial gain that's coming in is going to be because someone here has to do some sort of payout. I'm seeing Aries specifically heavy. I've got March and I've got the Ram here. So I'm looking specifically at Aries energy, and this is where today we see the squares, and where we have the square with Venus in Cancer over to Saturn and Neptune in Aries, and we also see the Moon in Scorpio with a square over to Mercury and the Sun in Leo. All right, so if this is someone that has to pay out some sort of inheritance, then it looks like it works in the favor for the person that's supposed to receive a brand new opportunity in wealth because it's shining over to Jupiter in Cancer today. All right, so for those that were working against you, I don't feel like they actually I can't speak. I don't feel like they succeeded at whatever it was that they were doing because it's like you're stepping into some sort of new experience here with the leg. All right, so the legs, I believe, are connected to Capricorn, Aquarius, and down at the feet is Pisces. Typically in association to what signs rule over the parts of the legs. All right. There's an older woman coming out here with the connection to temptation will test you and being protected from negative forces that are beyond your control. I don't know if someone is trying to make you do something to get you in trouble. If you are involved with the law, I don't feel like that's actually coming through that way. All right, what is this? Temptation is going to test you in protection from negative forces that are beyond your control. All right, and that possibly is where the connection is with great personal sorrow. If it has anything to do with that fair man, that's connected to this family sorrow. All right, so it looks like the fair man and the older woman could have been working hand in hand, playing behind your back and actually having to pay you out some sort of resources. All right, so whatever they did or however the involvement with the law was, it actually stepped you into a new experience and where they now have to pay out some sort of inheritance, or it could be connected to good news and connected to your wealth. Okay, let's move on. I'm seeing news is on the way. All right, with the bird flying here. News is on the way. Okay, so I think we kind of know what's going on there. Let's get into Kipper. I see expectation. I see poverty. I see concern. Family room. All right, so if someone expected for you to be in poverty, the concern is, I guess, where you would be residing in the family room. We're concerned about something you were doing in the family room. So the expectation of this courthouse issue. All right, from poverty, you receive some sort of great fortune. But the major concern coming up here is that you could be dealing with difficulties with having to find work. All right, being in the energy of despair. Family room, the main female. All right, so I feel like I'm speaking to a feminine energy here. All right, in connection to your lover. Split the deck, mature man. All right, let's see what's coming through here. So if you end up having to deal with someone that was working against you behind your back, the way that it comes through is like you receive some sort of inheritance. All right, and maybe coming from this mature man. All right, the fair man and the mature woman working together looks like they tried to keep you out in poverty or in despair, away from a family room. But for whatever reason, the courthouse is bringing in some sort of great fortune because of what you experienced is what is coming through. All right, let's clarify. I'm seeing Capricorn energy at the bottom of the deck with the devil. There could have been someone trying to remain in control of a situation. Could have been very egotistical, okay? Let's see what the expectation is. The Ten of Cups, you're going to be happy with the results of whatever this is. Show me poverty. I see Four of Pentacles. Someone may have been holding back on resources to keep you in poverty. Show me concern. They were trying to remain in control with the Two of Pentacles. Show me the family room. They actually may have had a boundary up or tried to keep a guard or be defensive in connection to what you were doing or surrounding a family room. Show me this courthouse energy here. All right, Temperance. I feel like things come back into balance overall. Great fortune. I see the Queen of Cups here. Okay. And I see despair. Despair. Something deceptive is happening here in connection to this main female. I'm seeing the Seven of Swords and the Seven of Wands. It's a very defensive type of energy from someone that could be jealous, envious, and or being deceptive towards you. And whatever it is that you do in the family room. All right, with the main female, I see the Page of Wands. I don't know if it's that you're focusing in on a passion. Okay. I see Ten of Swords, betrayal. I see the Hermit here, the need for guidance, and the Queen of Wands. I don't think it stops you. It actually makes you move forward. You could be remaining confident in dealing with whatever it is that you're dealing with here. All right, so either the main female or the mature woman could be Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, feminine energies overall. I'm seeing that's where the strength is coming through and where your investments are with the Leo energy here as well. Just want to clarify Temperance. So it's asking for patience up until something closes out. All right, with the World card. It could be the dealing with the whole betrayal in connection to trying to keep you away from your happiness overall if you were dealing with that court issue. All right, let's take a look at this mature man and the Lovers. The mature man is coming in with the energy of the reciprocation with resources. The Lover here is going to be going on vacation and or is going to be not speaking. Oh, okay. So if this is the mature man and this is mature man is seen as your future lover, this person could be on vacation right now or not speaking to you, but wanting to send out a message with the Page of Pentacles about reciprocation to help bring something back into balance. I'm going to clarify the Hermit and where you're receiving guidance at this time. The Chariot and the Sun. It looks like you're amazing there. All right, whatever you did, however you sought guidance, whatever type of spirituality you were tapped into, if you went through the dark night of the soul, if you had to tap into to focus on the healing, that was a major success. Show me the Queen of Wands here, the Emperor. All right, it looks like you come out on the other side very confident coming into this energy where you were able to protect yourself, all right, and expressing just the way that you feel with the Ace of Cups. All right, in order to protect and have some sort of boundary up from harm or those that were trying to work against you. All right, let's move forward. Let's see what's happening here. So we're going to do spill the tea now. Let's see what comes through. Spill the tea. Let's get a good shuffle real quick. Silent understanding, unspoken understanding creates a deeper connection with smoke and mirrors. Here it says don't be fooled by appearances. Somebody could have been trying to put on a mask. All right, quiet contentment here, just a simple companionship that's bringing peace and satisfaction. I don't know if someone said that you had some sort of deep connection with someone, all right, and where you were trying to keep up some sort of appearance, but the companionship that you had was only to bring in a sense of peace and satisfaction, and this end up changing someone's perspective about you or you about that person. Yeah, it was very double standard type of thing. All right, so I guess different people were held to different standards. And it looks like someone tried to exclude you from, you know, either whatever it was that you were doing from the home, okay? Now you found some sort of supportive circle here. You do something in quiet contentment or keeps you in some sort of quiet contentment. And the perspective that changes here is that you just wanted your boundaries to be respected. All right, so the other person has to learn how to respect your boundaries and your space, quote unquote, because you speak nothing but truth out here with unfiltered truth. All right, let's clarify this. Whoa. Let's look at silent understanding. This is going to be the person that you're receiving communication from. All right, it says don't be fooled by appearances. With this Emperor energy here, it could be heavy on that Saturn and Neptune in Aries today. All right, so simple companionship, it brings you peace and satisfaction. We were picking up on 2 days ago how there was someone trying to force you or making you surrender to accept whatever it was. Maybe you chose to do so. All right, but the simple companionship was, I guess, the Emperor trying to make a blockage in between the messages that were coming through and how you were receiving them. All right, what's the unexpected revelation here? The unexpected revelation. The King of Cups. So you know exactly who you're tapping in with. So why are you held to different standards? Because you're seen as the star. Why are you being excluded from the inner circle of this Emperor? Because this person wants to offer you some sort of opportunity to become their empress. Let's be clear. It would be like seen as that mature man coming in together as the lover. Okay. It says you will encounter people that truly care and support you. The Ace of Cups. Those that you resonate with, it could be surrounding friends and or family, and people that know how to respect personal boundaries or something like that. Yeah, people could be in your home environment or part of your family or part of your community, your tribe, whatever you want to call it. All right, and this is what has given you your strength. So it looks like the person that was working against you definitely was that Aries, and it's showing in transit today where the tension is taking place. But it's because the moon is in Scorpio. There was some sort of inheritance that was supposed to come through that this person either owes to you and was working against you so that they wouldn't have to pay that out. I feel like you have some sort of good news coming your way. All right. Let's see. Let's see. So yeah, I feel like you spoke some sort of unfiltered truth here. There could have been something about bridging differences, or this person understanding what it is that you are coming, where you're coming from. If you speak the truth about a situation, they could have felt that it was challenging if there was some sort of culture difference in between the both of you. All right. And it could have been where there was a lot of loyalty testing here in connection to you and this person. So they were trying to see if you were loyal to them, or if you were being two-faced, or if you were just putting on some sort of facade about being concerned about them. All right, so they may have been trying to either push boundaries or keep something hidden, so to see how you will react to the hidden motive. All right, to see that. Let me clarify with another spread with Sarah and what this is. I feel like the energy is going to clear up today, and you're going to be able to continue pushing forward on whatever your commitments are with this first quarter moon in Scorpio. I'm seeing 12:22 on the clock. I definitely see a lot of heightened spirituality energy here, and where you have a lot of hope and faith in something that may seem delayed at this time, but it will take off. Yeah, heavy on the spirituality thing. I'm seeing Virgo and Pisces in opposition, and where the North and South nodes are. So if you're being of service in any way with Mars being in Virgo, all right, and the South node being in Virgo, this could be like a past gift that you feel that you have. It could have been some sort of karmic challenge that you were overcoming, or whatever that may be. And then seeing things in a different perspective here, and where you're heading towards the North Node in Pisces, which by tomorrow, the 2nd, we're going to see a trine to that energy with the moon in Scorpio. All right, so this has to do with very secretive things that exist without physical form. I'm also seeing Aquarius' energy here with the star. All right, so having hope and faith, and just praying and wishing that everything for the near future works out as it should. I see the Hierophant here. All right, feeling like you're part of something traditional, or it may feel that you're elevated spiritually in some sort of way, and then manifesting your goals as well with the Magician. But again, there seems to be something that you do that is independent, and where other people may want to understand what it is that you're going through here. But it's almost like what is understood doesn't need to be explained kind of energy. With the Seven of Swords, it may look like you're being strategic against others, but that's only to protect your energy so that you head in the right direction. So if something was delayed for you, I definitely see it affecting the energy of your spiritual ascension. All right, and it could have just been the situation that was happening more so from the past, if you were dealing with some sort of involvement with the law. All right, so let's just see the Magician and what is manifesting here towards your wish fulfillment. It looks like missed opportunities with the Four of Cups. All right, Hermit and the Hangman. It's giving me Queen of Pentacles. Don't worry, I feel like you're still very much grounded, stable, all right, secure in wherever you are. At least you have some sort of firm foundation. And then with this heavy Aquarian energy, there is someone that has an attachment on you. And it was coming through first in the beginning of the deck with the Devil. So the person that was trying to remain in control with you utilizing some sort of strategy against them. All right, I'm getting heavy Saturn here because I'm seeing Aquarius and Capricorn, both ruled by Saturn. And then Saturn being in the sign of Aries would be seen as, I'm the authority figure. You have to follow my rules or my laws, that type of thing. All right. But it was only part of you trying to protect yourself from being involved with some sort of corruption or some sort of inappropriate authority. All right. And it kind of leads you to have a brand new beginning with the Fool card. I like it. All right. I like it. So if something was delayed, then possibly an eclipse season coming up in September. I see you exposing some sort of lies or someone, you know, feeling like they can get it across on you. That's not going to work. All right. Whatever the hidden motives are, they're going to come to the light. And there will be a massive change in connection to, again, if I'm feeling like anything with resources, we have Pisces in the second house for Aquarius. All right. And we're also looking at, what is it? For the sign of Pisces, we have Saturn currently right now and Aries in the second house. Okay. So we have to remember that Saturn is in retrograde. It will enter once again into the sign of Pisces. So as it is dealing with Pisces energy right now, with Saturn being in Aries, it will then start dealing with Aquarius's energy as Saturn will enter back into Pisces in Aquarius' second house. All right. So if there's any difficulties and or restrictions on resources, the eclipse season is going to bring a major change to that. In opposition to where you've been dealing with karmic challenges from the past with the South Node being in Virgo. And Mars is being in Virgo right now is calling for action, for determination, all right? And it could be creating some sort of, not just discrimination, but I want to say criticism in the workplace, okay? So this is part of your new life here. It looks like you're building some sort of strong foundation with the building blocks. I see time for a nap. You may need some sort of rest, rejuvenation, vacation time. All right. It may have been a very long journey. Okay. Message in the bottle. You're seeing some sort of synchronicities and or signs. I was actually sitting outside and there was a butterfly and it kind of like flew up to me and it landed right on my shoe. It was attracted to the white shoes that I had on and it stood there for over a minute and I just kind of let it be. So that was a sign of transformation, all right, overall. So building blocks is coming through with being in the here and now. And then time for a nap. If you rest and rejuvenate on the other side of that, I see the rainbow. There's always a pot of gold on the other side. All right. So at the bottom of the deck, it's calling for Yang, Mars energy, action, determination, continue persevering towards whatever your goals are here. I'm going to pull from Oracle of the Radiant Sun with New Life. I see romance, so this could be coming up for you in the month of August, all right, where we are currently on the 1st. I do see that Venus is going to be entering Leo by the 25th of August, and this is going to be a period of heavy love affairs, okay? So I'm seeing Venus in Taurus being significant in connection to romance. Let's look at strong foundations. All right, so Saturn in Aquarius energy, I see heavy eccentricity. So your originality, your thought process, everything feels like it's very futuristic. You could be very on point with your ideas, things like that. All right, what is it that you're taking a step back from here with time to nap? What are you taking a step back from with time to nap? Okay. All right, the influence of a very deceptive type of courtship. All right, whether this is a partnership, a contract, it could be in something involving Mercury's energy, so communication, travel, transportation, your local community. It could be involving siblings or cousins or neighbors. All right, if it involves you being in school or gaining some sort of knowledge about something. All right, it could be that you don't feel influenced to head that direction anymore. All right, or maybe that's just what it feels like. It's because Mercurian energy being in the sign of Leo, it's like you need to put on some sort of dramatic performance in order to gain attention. And it looks like that's coming through with Mercury being in retrograde as a review of you being seen as the serpent, or you know what I mean, doing something that's like trickster energy. Let's look at message in the bottle. I see the moon in Leo, appreciation. All right. So that's where we had that new moon here on the 24th of July. Being in the here and now, Jupiter in Capricorn, it just looks like you have control of a situation, or you're being given a position of authority in part of a big organization. All right. When it comes to, it looks like principles. Okay. When it comes to having to follow rules and laws. Okay. Let's look at milk and honey. I see the moon in Taurus, rather, where it's exalted. All right, so the moon in Taurus is going to be the last quarter moon for the month of August, and that one is taking place on, one second, the 16th of August, and that falls on a Saturn's day. Specifically, that day looks amazing with the energy. All right, because we'll have the moon in Taurus with a, let's just see. I see a sextile energy over to Saturn and Aries, a sextile to Neptune and Aries, a sextile to Mercury, then being in the sign of Leo. I'm not sure if it goes direct by that time or not. All right, so where today we're dealing with the squares, we'll be seeing sextile energy by the 16th with these specific transits. All right, I'm going to clarify romance and where you should be focusing more so in that direction. I see the second house, the fifth house, the 11th house. So there's something about that new moon in Leo, the first quarter moon happening today in Scorpio, the full moon in Aquarius, and then having that last quarter moon in Taurus by the 16th. All right, submission. It looks like you're fully focused on whatever it is that you are bringing in some sort of connection with. It feels like a spiritual connection. This is something that can easily be left. Notice how the bird is in the cage, but the door is open. All right, this is something that you choose to be with. Is very much appreciated. This specific new life, this new romantic energy that's helping bringing in the messages of that are coming through in a bottle. So it's like heightened intuition type of energy, with Venus being in Pisces also at its exaltation. Let's clarify this energy of building blocks and this energy of here and now with control. I see the moon in Scorpio. So this is exactly what it is. Using your mindset to help gain the information or the knowledge that you need in order to have control and hold a position of authority in whatever organization that you're part of. All right, so let's just take a look at Mercury and Libra with the moon in Taurus. I'm seeing Taurus and Libra both being ruled by Venus, but needing to take a rest, a vacation, a nap in order for something to come through for you with milk and honey. That's normally your abundance, if it is coming through as some sort of inheritance. All right, and I see that being possibly even a home with the sun coming through in Cancer. All right, and it being part of whatever seems to be more resourceful for you. I see a raven here. So there could be heightened intuition right now, or some sort of transformation that's happening in your life so that you birth something new now that Venus is in the sign of Cancer. All right, and it's fairly at its second degree maybe today. So Venus in Cancer being at 1 degree and 43 minutes. I'm just going to take a look at the second degree of Cancer and what it speaks about. 1 second. The second degree of Cancer says expanded perception. All right, so if your perspective was supposed to change about something here, settled into a secure situation, the mind is better able to expand its reach to see things from a higher perspective. A mind that flutters about between this and that is not sufficiently stable to center itself upon higher realities, but when a clear determination is made, the possibility to see bigger pictures is found. In the state of elevated consciousness, we can see ourselves in the wider context as an integral part of the whole. All right, so it says a man on a magic carpet hovering over a large area of land. All right, so you could have been contemplating about something here, but it says contemplation is an aspect of optimal self-management. It's like being able to utilize the mindset properly so that you're in the here and now and what you're focused on building upon. All right, and if you need to release yourself here from some sort of attachment of a sense of control, all right, that would have been where you know that you were being submissive to a specific romantic connection that was part of your new life. Very much appreciated, but it comes through as a message in the bottle where it's like heightened intuition rather. Okay. that's typically the Four of Wands. It would be like a celebration. In this specific deck, it speaks about lust. All right, so we had Venus retrograding in the sign of Aries back, I think, in April. I want to say it was. Let me be clear, because I know Venus actually went retrograde this year rather than going retrograde 2 years ago, and where it happened in the sign of Leo. So there's something about fire energy here as well, all right, or the fire placements in your chart. Let's go back to April. I want to see where Venus was actually in retrograde. So it started as retrograde at the very end of March in the sign of Pisces. All right. Sorry, 1 second. No, Venus started its retrograde on March 1st. It entered Pisces again on March the 29th. When it went direct was on the 12th of April. So then we may have seen where Venus entered Aries again by April 30th. So this is a transit where there's been a lot of lust in connection to wherever your Aries placement is. Now that Saturn and Neptune are there, it's retrograding back possibly what was taking place when Venus was there, having to do with creativity, your finances, having to do with your self-esteem, your confidence, or how you were creating something to help bring in, I guess, some sort of abundance. And it looks like it's finally paying off. All right, so April 30th, we're looking at what? May, June, July, August now. We're 4 months in. We're following back to this Aries energy for some reason, being at the very earlier degrees. We have Saturn at 1 degree and 37 minutes, and we have Neptune at 1 degree and 58 minutes. And they both will be retrograding back into Pisces by September. So September 1st, I believe, we have Saturn retrograding back into Pisces, and Neptune retrogrades back into Pisces by October 22nd. So these are going to be things that we already experienced, and it has a lot to do with spirituality. When we step back into Pisces from the 25th to the 30th degree, it speaks more so about the realization of faith. And I feel like that's why we kept seeing the star card. So this heavy Aquarius and Pisces energy, it's because we're on the shift of completing, I want to say, a cycle. Like astrologically, the 11th and the 12th houses are the ending of the astrological chart. So if it has to do with like communities of people, if it has anything to do with you becoming a leader, all right, and seen as a leader in the spiritual community, this could be something that comes up. All right, so you may not see how things are going to be happening in your new life, but the way that Spirit is explaining it to me, it's so that you are in alignment for when you need to actually start taking action and going the long haul with this, having the information, all right, and being seen as the one that's mending with your spiritual community, all right. And again, you may not know why it's happening, but it's in order to organize or clean something up in your life. I like it, all right, especially situations that may have made you feel orphaned or burdened or any way like that. All right, it's like having faith that God got your back. Okay. Let's do another spread before we go, because this is a very quick reading. Very quick reading, but I think I'm very to the point at this point right here. All right, we already know what's been happening. It could have been involving legalities, all right, but it's like a spiritual thing. Spiritual thing. All right, so we got the Hangman here, Pisces energy coming out. I see the Ace of Swords, gaining clarity over what you didn't understand or what you needed to gain new perspective about. All right, the Empress energy, heavy on the Taurus here. And where we obviously have now Uranus that's in the sign of Gemini, but that's also retrograding back into the sign of Taurus as well. All right, so I don't think that's happening up until, when is Uranus entering Taurus again? November the 7th. Okay, Uranus actually starts its retrograde back into the sign of Taurus starting on September the 6th. So this is all coming up very shortly. We have Pluto in retrograde, we have Saturn and Neptune in retrograde, we have Chiron that is now in retrograde, and that's going to be there up until January 2026, and when it goes direct again, also in the sign of Aries. We have Uranus going retrograde as well, starting on September 6th. So there's a lot of planets right now that are in review in specific areas in your life, but it's all to align you with where you're going to be in your new life, all right? Uranus and Taurus is at its fall. Uranus being the ruling planet of Aquarian energy, now entering Gemini, it kind of feels a little bit more comfortable there because it's ready for change and it wants to get innovative, right? So that you can expand the energy of the mindset, which is Gemini's energy. So the way you're supposed to be gaining perspective about something right now is to be seeing things on the spirituality side and bringing that to your reality in your conscious mind. All right. So I see the Chariot coming out overall. The High Priestess is here. And once again, I'm seeing heavy on the Pisces. All right, so this has a lot to do with the hidden secrets or things that are coming through where you know you have this gut instinct about something, but it's just not explainable. You're going to be gaining clarity about that. Okay. The Knight of Swords, it's like something's going to accelerate so fast and you're going to be able to understand exactly the message that's coming through. All right, let's look at the energy of the Empress. So again, this all could be affecting areas in connection to your resources, your finances, your confidence, your self-esteem, your value, whatever that may be. All right. And also possibly even the home environment with Cancer's energy being here. Let's clarify the Empress. The Magician. It will be like manifesting what it is that you're trying to create. So I'm seeing Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, all in majors. All right. We have to remember Uranus is coming out of Taurus heading into Gemini, right? Now we have Jupiter that just left Gemini, now heading into Cancer. So anything that created the change back in Taurus's energy and where you were supposed to manifest so that your opportunities are presented in the sign of Cancer where Jupiter is exalted, and so that new opportunities are coming through. And what is Cancer's energy? It's water. So it's going to be through the subconscious state, okay? And I see heavy on Pisces here. All right, so let's think about more compassion, more vulnerability, more love, the energy of using your imagination to create what it is that you desire, things like that. Spirituality. I mean, it could be many different things, but it's like bringing this and utilizing your mind in order to do something. Maybe it involves communication. All right, maybe it involves the media. Maybe it involves travel. This is what I'm saying. There's all brand new opportunities coming in. It's just the way that you see and how you gain perspective of how to use this energy. All right. I'm seeing Ace of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Cups. I mean, everything. It looks like brand new, brand new, brand new. Once again, here's Taurus, here's Gemini, here's Cancer. Think about it that way. And where Uranus is stepping out of Taurus in connection to destructing or causing some sort of chaos in resources is so that you can use your mind to get a little bit more creative and do something innovative. And Jupiter offering opportunities and expansion in the energy of water energy, right? Cancer. So it has a lot to do with being seen as the feminine energy here, all right? So that you can bring some sort of success to whatever this is. I feel because of your skills or your smarts or how you've gained perspective and clarity about something and you know the truth about it, you're going to have a lot of people trying to come in and collaborate with you and giving you positions of authority so you can be seen as the teacher. Okay? I like this. So that could be the good news that's coming in. Jupiter in Capricorn, it gives you a position of authority and, you know, having some sort of responsibility in an organization here. An organization that knows something about hidden secrets or things that, again, it has a lot to do with a lot of hidden enemies. Or it has something to do with things that exist without physical form. Heavy on the Piscean energy as well. All right, so let's see. Saturn and Pisces is going to be very, very significant. So if Pisces energy is those that, or the things that exist without physical form in the 12th house, it could be having anything to do with hospitals or clinics or imprisonment, whether that be mentally, physically, spiritually. You would be seen as Saturn, a leader. So it requires you to like leave home or emotionally withdraw from situations so that you can, in your clear mind, understand what it is that's going on around you. This is happening on September 1st. Notice the eclipse that's taking place here. These are where the nodes are as well. All right, so I'm seeing Jupiter Pisces, heavy expansion, and the energy of spirituality and going after what keeps you emotionally fulfilled. All right, Sun in Capricorn, heavy on achievement, on goals, and on you being seen as a leader, all right, of your community, whatever that may be. All right,